Okay, so today there is going to be a PowerPoint for you to download. So you're going to click on the blue letters or download coordinate plane, and it'll download automatically for you. But before we get there, we're going to look at the other modules for today. Hold on, where's my mouse? Okay, so today's modules, we've got the bell ringer. Wait, where'd it go? Okay, so we've got the bell ringer today. We've got the coordinate plane PowerPoint that we're going to work on. But above that, I added some links that I want to show you what's here. So if you're at home or you don't understand something, there's some videos here. Okay. I want to show you these games that I added. First one, alien game.
Games?
Yeah.
Since when did you add the games?
Games?
I thought you were against games.
Since when did
Quiet.
you add games?
Okay, so on this one, you are going to catch the alien by putting in the coordinates for where he is. So my first number is how many steps over he is. He's sitting on the 3, so I'm going to type a 3 up here. And then I'm going to put a comma to separate my numbers. He's 3 over and he's 0 up. So the second number is 0 for him. And then I'm going to hit enter. Yeah, wow, that's loud. Okay. So that's what the first game's like. Then I could hit the arrow and get another number. Okay, this guy, do I have to go over any numbers? No, he's sitting on the 0. So he's got 0 over. Come on. 0 over. And 1 up. And then I would hit enter. Okay, so that's the first game. I'm just showing you. I'm giving you a little preview here. Not today, no. Stock the shelves. Okay, so we got...
Miss Blake, we can't... You didn't share your screen.
Oh, I didn't realize anyone was in the meeting yet. Hold on. Hold on.
The only reason I'm him is because we got an 18-wheeler.
Oh, yeah. I don't know who's Aaliyah.
She was used to be in our math class.
Oh! No, I don't know.
She has short hair and a little blonde. Dirty blonde hair.
Okay. So, quiet, please. So this is the Stock the Shelves game. Let's see. He's going to give you a coordinate to put a bottle. Come on, where's my mouse? Right here. Okay, so this one says I have to go to -1. Oh, that's still loud. Just hold it for now. So this says I need to go to -1, -4. So starting at 0, I'm going to go to -1 and then down to -4. And this is where I would hit enter. It's going to put that bottle there. Okay, this one says I need to go 0 over and 1 down. So 0 over, 1 down. He goes right there. Lemonade, 1 over and -3. So +1 goes this way. -3 steps down. This is the Stock the Shelves one. All right, so that's what that looks like. Yeah, Stock the Shelves. Okay, Math Pup, Flying Saucer.
What about BB Quadrants?
I know, well, I skipped it for now. Just chill. Okay, so for this one,
Do we have to do all of these?
no, I'm just showing you what's sitting here, okay? 4 quadrants. I would choose 4 quadrants because that's the 6th grade level, okay? You've had experience working up here in the first quadrant, but now we are doing all 4 quadrants. So he's going to give me a location where he buried his bone. It says go 0 over and 3 up. I have to use my arrows for this game. So 3 up.
Next cue. Give me the next
Okay, 5 over and -2, so 5 in the positive direction. So I'm going to find the +5 line, and -2 means going under the number line into the negative land. Right there. 5 and -2, where's your bone? Oh, there it is. Okay, this says 1 over and 0 up.
No, that's for a different class.
That's for lunch for 7th grade, I think. Okay, 1 over and 0 up would be sitting right on the line. So that's where that guy. Okay, so that's finding his bones for him.
Okay. Really good game for practicing.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it's for. And this basketball quadrant game. Okay, so there's 4 quadrants that go with the coordinate plane. And there's rules that go with each one. Like quadrant 1, both numbers are positive. Quadrant 2, a negative and a positive. So this is about that. But I'm really bad at this game because you have to catch a basketball.
Okay.
I can't do it. Okay, so like I would go play. Which point is in quadrant 2? Quadrant 2 is negative and then positive. So I need a negative number and a positive number. It would be that. All right, and then I have to catch this basketball. Oh, I got it. Yay, that's the first time today I've gotten it. Okay.
Why?
It's not easy. In which quadrant is -5 and -10? Well, that's going backwards negative and then down negative. That is quadrant 3. Yeah.
Come on, Miss Blake.
All right. Hey, it's not easy to catch it from my screen here. Okay.
True.
All right. So here is one link we are going to watch right now. It's hopefully going to get stuck in your head, Leah.
Please. Don't do that.
I know, but she's online.
Thank God you have golf.
To plot the coordinates 2, 1, go right 2, jump up 1, and you're done. To plot -8, +2, go left 8 up 2. That's what we do.
On the x-axis,
Count left or
on
right,
the y-axis,
count up or down. That's how our coordinates point is found. To plot the coordinates 9, 5, go right 9 up 5 to where you arrive. For -3, -9, go left 3 down 9 where they intertwine.
on the x-axis,
Count left or
on
right,
the y-axis,
count up or down. That's how our coordinates point is found. To plot +6, -4, up right 6 down 4. Just do one more, put the order pairs in row. -3, remain at the origin, go down 3 with me.
on the x-axis,
Count left or
on
right,
the y-axis,
count up or down. That's how our coordinates point is found.
The coordinates are kinda like clues, telling you where to plot the x and y values. The way you see them on a questionnaire, they can be called coordinates or an ordered pair. There are 4 quadrants. The first is in the top right corner. The second order is
Ava, put your feet down.
finally there's a place you begin. At 0, 0 on the origin. On the x-axis,
Count left or
on
right,
the y-axis,
count up or down. That's how our coordinates point is found.
It's like the robot shape of a freaking head.
All right. Okay, so the goal of that was hopefully get some of that in your head about x-axis going left to right, y is up and down. Let's see.
Well, then
You
sing
do?
the song and
No, I do not remember it.
Well, we are going to be working on that today. Let me find.
I don't have much time left. I have like 1 second.
No, we don't. We get out of here at 12:12. All right, so go over to the PowerPoint for today and download that. Yeah, I got it. That's what I'm working on right now. Attendance. See, it's stuck in your head. Yep. All right, so right now you are downloading the PowerPoint from Canvas.
No.
Okay, Lucas, do you have a question? Okay, you're going to have to type it or something because I can't hear you right now. You're very quiet. Let's see who's here. I got Yvette present. I've got Lucas present. No Ethan today, huh?
No, Ethan.
Yeah. And Michaela is here. Leah. Leah, I miss you. Why aren't you here bringing my sunshine in this class?
I don't know who she is.
An ankle filler got stuck, so my bus was like really behind, and it was already 8:15, and I didn't want to miss my first period in class and be absent for that class.
Okay. When you start talking about an 18-wheeler, I was hoping you weren't in a wreck or something. So.
No. So I'll be back tomorrow, though.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm still sharing my screen. Make sure you are downloading the PowerPoint. Raise your hand if you have it open on your screen right now. Okay, you're still trying? PowerPoint. Christopher, you got it?
I'm gonna get it. I got it.
Okay. Joshua, do you have it? Okay. Okay, make sure you hit enable editing on it. All right, so what I like about this picture, is that it shows Mario running and then jump, because with coordinates, a lot of people forget which way to go first. And if you don't remember which way to go first, you're not going to get it right. So first you run, then you jump. So for 8, that's our x value. We go across. 7, we jump up or down.
Okay.
All right, so that's what I like about Mario there.
Mario.
Okay, so if you have this pulled up and you want to make the tiles on the side smaller, you can come over here and grab that bar and drag it to the left. It won't let me from now. Okay. Yeah, it's stuck in your head.
Not mine. I just hear tacos.
What about freestyle? Stop. No, stop. From the left axis.
Okay, so thank you. All right, so now we're going to go to, okay, there's this little thing about the origin of the Cartesian plane. Do not laugh at this man, okay? It's the 1500s. He's not, come on.
Jesus.
You want to hit the lights, somebody?
Miss.
No, somebody closer. Thank you. Quiet, please. Let's not comment on people's looks.
Jesus.
Hello everyone. This video is going to be about Rene Descartes, the man who created the coordinate plane, also referred to as the Cartesian plane.
When they're talking about his ceiling, I want you to think about how our
French
ceiling looks.
mathematician and philosopher who lived from 1596 Like many days, Descartes laid in bed late one morning, thinking of math when he noticed a fly. He watched the fly as it landed at different places on his bedroom ceiling. With his bedroom ceiling having square tiles, he wondered how he could describe the exact location of the fly using numbers. After much thought, Descartes developed a hypothesis of how to accurately note each place the fly landed.
Ooh, that's cool.
He decided that, in order to describe the location of the fly, he would need to think of the square tiles as a grid. One of the corners of the ceiling would be the reference point, where the x-axis and y-axis meet, while one wall would be the x-axis and the other the y-axis. Because of this, his ceiling would in theory only be one section of the Cartesian plane, known as a quadrant. By counting the ceiling tiles along the x-axis wall, he found the first number of the fly's coordinates. To find the second number, he counted the number of tiles to the fly from the x-coordinate along the y-axis. After counting the tiles and discovering the fly's coordinates, Descartes would designate a specific point to where the fly landed. His invention of the coordinate plane created a link between algebra and geometry that changed the way math can be seen forever. And that is the story of how Descartes changed the world of math forever without even getting out of bed.
This stuff is great.
All right, so like our ceiling, he was laying there thinking math because he's a mathematician, and he came up with, making a y-axis and x-axis and plotting where the fly would be. I'm kind of thinking of doing that in here. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I could move the fly around, and you'd have to tell me where it is.
That'd be so hard because you have to get a ladder.
I have a step stool. That's true. I probably couldn't reach it.
Yeah, you're short.
I am. You're right. All right, so
That was me, whoever said that.
I know, right? All right. So if you've heard the word quad before, you might know what it means.
It means
For the quads in your legs, yeah, but also quadruplets is for babies. Quadrilaterals are four-sided. Yeah. Okay. So for today, we're talking about quadrants. Listen up. All right, so the coordinate plane is broken up into four sections. They called them quadrants. Okay, see, this is what you're writing in your journal. Okay, it's also on the board over there by Joshua, up right behind him. Okay, so we are going to draw this. Actually, can you turn the light back on for me? Okay, so I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to see what you can get written in your journal. Okay, you see how Miss Blake makes this big C on here? So that helps to keep track of how the quadrants are counted because it goes counterclockwise. So starting at the top of my C, Joshua, starting up here, it'd be quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Okay? And like if the pluses and the minus plus and pluses, that means, if your first number is positive and your second number is positive, you're going to be in quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 has our negative numbers for the first and then positive. Okay, so there's like a rule that goes with each of these quadrants. I should see math journals out. Since when? Get yourself a journal. That's part of your school supplies for my classroom.
Okay.
And if you don't have one by the end of the week or next week, I'm going to have to call your parents and say, can you please get this boy a spiral or journal?
Okay.
All right, so notice how a lot of times you're going to see the quadrants written out in Roman numerals. So 1 is the 1 eye, 2, 2 eyes, 3, 3 eyes, And 4 is the I with a V. That means 1 less than 5.
Why is it like that?
That's how they write Roman numerals. 1 less than 5. If the 1 was on the other side, that would be 5 plus 1.
6.
Yeah, so that was 4. It's 1 less than 5.
Why do they do it like that? Why do they do normal numbers? Okay.
Because they didn't know.
You know what? Our numbers are Arabic. So from the Arab countries or Arabic.
Are you Arab?
I thought they were Arabic.
Huh?
Arabs.
You know what?
I'm Arabic.
Stay high.
In English?
Arabic.
Oh, really? Can you?
Yeah. Stay high. Yeah.
Okay.
واحد اثنين ثلاثة أربعة خمسة ستة سبعة.
I want to speak a different language too. I'm a cool one too.
Okay, so make sure you have your y-axis and your x-axis written down, because you're going to need to know those. You're going to have your quadrants labeled along with the plus, plus, minus, plus, that business. Raise your hand if you're done.
I'm not. Wait, how?
I'm almost done. I just need one.
Okay, one more minute, and then we'll move on.
Oops, sorry. It's okay. Okay, hold on.
No.
It's alright. It's okay. It's alright. It's not okay.
I think I'm cool.
Why? Why? Why?
It's catchy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not catchy, Miss Jones.
Then I'll play it every day until you catch on.
I am going to tell you on Wednesday, I am bringing a walker to school.
That's cool, dude.
I asked the principal.
A walker.
For what?
A car washer.
I have a problem.
You
bringing
a walker? A walker.
I have a, quiet down. I have a problem with the fact that, like Nerd Day, we're categorizing someone as a nerd for either what they're wearing or what kind of nerd are you? The stereotype, you know, are you a bookworm? Are you a band nerd? Are you into math and science? Does that make you a nerd? Do you wear glasses? Does that make you a nerd? I don't like that, you know, calling somebody a name because of either the way they dress or that they have glasses. Same for the old person day, having a cane or a walker. That's almost about not making fun of, but calling out someone with a disability. You know, they can't walk, so they're old. And I have a problem with like categorizing something like that. You know, but
that's crazy.
I really understand that. Me too.
but like yeah. So like I was thinking, what would it look like to come dressed as an old person? And a lot of people would bring canes, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that's almost like calling out someone on their disability. So I don't like that.
I mean, it's all fun and games.
I know, but if you think about it, if we're trying to make a world where everyone's included, that's people with abilities and disabilities. You know what I mean? It's just calling out stuff. Huh? I know. I don't care. All right, so we're gonna move on. Yep. Okay, so.
I'm innocent.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh no, hold on, don't look at this. Don't look at this. No, don't look.
You see it. I see it.
Don't look at that.
How's that being successful?
I didn't clear this off from last period. Okay, so you're gonna do the drag and drop. And we're gonna work it together.
Excuse me, sir.
Hold on.
Like a dotted line rectangle.
I know, I had to move it off for just a minute. Don't blind yourself on my screen.
Trees, bananas, potatoes, Teresa, can I tell you something?
All right.
Teresa, potatoes and bananas are kind of a weird combination.
Okay, quiet down. Okay, guys, let's refocus. Hey, let's refocus. The next page is a drag and drop. There's a lot of new vocabulary or reminders of vocabulary for this stuff. So let's start. What is the number line that goes up and down? What's that? I hear one person.
The line that goes up and down.
Yeah.
Miss Blake,
The y-axis.
Thank you.
Something in 5th grade that they taught us is the Y is somebody raising up and the X is somebody running. Yeah, I'll go to this.
Well, like Mario, he runs and then he jumps.
Miss, have you ever made fun of Hey, Daniel,
Okay, quiet please. The x-axis, that's my number line that goes left to right. Goes left to right. Goes up and down. You can't see what? It's on your screen, right? Are you on the PowerPoint that we're working on? Then you should have this on yours.
No, she's not. She's not reading numbers. Like the letters. You are shocked. Like if we're
All right, so quadrant 1. Yes. Quadrant 1. It's our first square. And then like that C, we start here and we go back and around. So quadrant 2.
Done.
Quadrant 3. Did you enable editing?
It just
Oh, yeah, they're
My mouse is like so.
There we go.
It's okay. Sir. No.
It's not good.
careful when you grab it.
Yes, I am. You're not.
All right, last quadrant, quadrant 4. I'm gonna bring that over. Okay, got my quadrants. All right, right here, 0, 0. That is our origin. The word origin means the beginning of something, the start. So this is where we start.
And the numbers are already finished.
Okay, so maybe in ELA you read about origin stories of different things.
No, I don't.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes they're like
Do we read about origin stories? No.
but they're a lot of times they have animals in it, like how the earth was made. Oh, there was a turtle and this happened. That kind of stuff. Or origin stories. All right. Point. I see a blue dot and I see 2 numbers. Which one of those is the point?
The point is the dot.
The dot.
That's a little bit of common sense.
Yes, it is. An ordered pair is my numbers that tell me where to go. This ordered pair tells me to go 2 positive and 4 negative. So that would tell me to go over to the right for positive and down for negative. All right, so this. Okay. So, along, here's my axis right here. Okay, anything above the x-axis, these are positive. So quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, going up is the positive direction. Okay? When I go down below the x-axis, this is my negative half. So I have a positive half on top, a negative half on the bottom. So the numbers going down here would be negative. You know, you don't have to. It's up to you.
Because I'm trying to.
I want to see how you.
See, I can pick a pen and look at the different choices I can have.
Whoa. So pretty.
Okay, and then going left to right for my y-axis, right here. Okay, all of these, this way is the negative direction. And this way is the positive direction. So if my first number is positive, I start at 0 and I move to the right. If my first number is negative, I start at 0 and move to the left. Okay? Same with this number line for our second number for y. If it's positive, I move up. If it's negative, I move down. All right, we good?
Let's.
That was number.
All right, moving on, right?
No. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, lights, please.
Lights.
You are probably familiar with the notion of a number line,
Whoa.
where we can take a number and associate it with a.
Hold on. That's really loud, too.
Good for you. Nobody. It's true.
Okay, I'm going to go in the reading view, and it's going to make it bigger on my screen. Oop, there we go.
Oh, that's cool. Why playing games?
Well, I play the game like Snippy.
Please stop Tattletale.
Hold on. Any page up.
Maybe.
Could be.
I learned in 6th grade.
Okay, listen up. Quiet, please.
You are probably familiar with the notion of a number line, where we can take a number and associate it with a point on the number line. So, for example, the number 2, I would start at 0, and I'd go 1, 2 to the right, and I would end up right over there. What we're going to do in this video is think about how do we take two numbers and associate them with a point on a plane like this. So, for example, you might have the two numbers 3, 5. How does that, or how can these two numbers be represented as a point on the plane, or how can these tell you where a point on the plane is? So let's first get a little bit of terminology out of the way. So what we have here, this is often known as our coordinate plane. These two numbers you could view as our coordinates. Let me write this down. These are coordinates. These black lines are known as the axes. Each one is an axis. And the one that goes left, right here, this is known as the x-axis, or it's typically known as the x-axis. In the future, it might be called other things. And the one that goes up, down in the vertical direction, this is typically known as the y-axis. As you go further in math, we might call it other things, but most of the time, it's going to be called the y-axis. So how does 3, 5, how do these coordinates specify a point on this plane? Well, the way that we typically work it through, the standard way that people will interpret these points, it'll say, all right, this first coordinate, this is our x-coordinate. This is our x-coordinate. You can view it as how far do we move to the right along the x-axis. So what you would do is you'd say, all right, I'm going to start right here where my axes intersect, and I'm going to go 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3.
Remember,
so
intersect means where they cross.
My point
or
is
touch.
going to be this far to the right. This far to the right. So it's going to be somewhere on this vertical line, this dotted line that I'm showing. Everything on this vertical line has an x-coordinate of 3. Now, what's the y-coordinate? Or another way I should say it, the second number right over here. This is the y-coordinate. Y-coordinate. This tells us how far do we move up. So one way to think about it, you could start back at where the axes intersect. This point is actually called the origin. Let me write that down. That is the origin. And so starting at the origin, move 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So everything on this horizontal line that I'm drawing has a y-coordinate of 5. So what point uniquely has both an x-coordinate of 3 and a y-coordinate of 5? Well, you can see where those two lines intersect, right over here. Actually, let me do that same blue color that I wrote the coordinates.
You know, intersections where two
So
roads
this
cross,
point
right?
right over here,
Intersection.
it has an
That's what it always reminds me of.
x-coordinate of 3, and it has a y-coordinate.
Yeah, this is kind of a review, but I want to make sure that people are refreshed.
Now, what is the coordinates of the origin?
Well, the origin is 0 to the right of the origin, and it's also 0 above the origin.
I love how the origin
So
looks like a little owl
the x-coordinate
face.
is 0. The y-coordinate is also 0. Let's do a few more examples. So let's say that I wanted to plot the point 2, 5. Why don't you pause this? Or let me use a different number. 2, 4. Why don't you pause this video and think about where that point would be on this coordinate plane? All right, let's do it together. So the first number is going to be our x-coordinate. It tells us how far do we move to the right. So we move 2 to the right. And then our second number says how far do we move up. So first we're going to move 2 to the right. And then we are going to move 4 up. So you can say 1, 2 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Right over there. This right over here is the point 2, 4. Notice, it's x-coordinate, how far to the right of the origin it is, that is 2, and it's y-coordinate, how far above the origin is, that is 4. Now let's go the other way around. Let's say that I were to give you, if I were to give you this point right over here, what would its coordinates be? Pause the video and try to figure that out. All right, well, we know it's going to be 2 numbers, so I'll do something, comma, something. Now, the first something, that's going to be our x-coordinate. You could think of it as what point on the x-axis are we above? You could think about how far to the right of the origin we are. And you can see that your x-coordinate right over here is, if we just drop a vertical line straight down from that point, it hits the x-axis at 4. So that is 4. Another way to think about it, we're 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right of the y-axis. Now, how high are we? How high above the x-axis are we? Well, we're 1 above the x-axis. So this is going to be 4, 1. Another way to think about it, if you just take a line and you go straight to the left.
Okay, so when we're graphing though, please do not fill up your coordinate plane with a bunch of lines like that. I mean, it's okay to run your finger along it to like plot it out and stuff, but
when you first learn this, the main point of confusion is remembering that, okay, the first number is the x-coordinate, the second number is the y-coordinate. 1, 4 would be a different point. 1, 4 would be, okay, 1 in the x direction and then 4 in the y direction. So this is 1, 4 over here. So it's very important to realize that the standard way of interpreting these numbers is that the first one says how far do you move to the right of the origin, or how far do you move along the x-axis, or where are you on the x-axis? And the second number is how far do you move in the vertical direction, or where are you relative to the y.
All right, so what is that noise? Anyways, that's it for today. We're going to continue this where we left off tomorrow. And we're going to, you can practice with some of those games. All right. Okay, thank you. I'm still recording, and it sounds like a siren. That was a yawn, by the way.